Hey, 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 welcome back to the Moxie Mansion podcast. I'm your host, Truman Siegel.
I'm one of your other hosts, John Luke Lassa.
I'm your third host, Jay Wass.
And today we have our science correspondent with us, Zarek Harold.
Hi, I'm Zarek. I still take math.
We were supposed to have our sports correspondent with us today, but something came up for her, so Zarek is filling in.
Lost our Jack.
Oh no, you're stuck with me.
Sorry, Zarek, you know Jack. You take math.
So I hope you have something for us today.
Well, I have your weekly Yellowstone up.
Oh boy.
This week's update, there has been no more seismic activity in Yellowstone.
No.
No, shut up.
I did find an article written by the Caldera Chronicles. Would you like to hear about it?
Yes, please.
Yes, I would.
Desperately.
Well, the title is Strong Earthquakes Don't Cause Yellowstone Volcano to Erupt. And that basically summarizes the article.
Fuck.
But I've been looking at this, and you know how I'm optimistic about some things?
Yeah.
So earthquakes, sometimes they do set off volcanoes. I think what this article isn't taking into account is that Yellowstone isn't ready yet. Once Yellowstone's ready and there's a pretty big earthquake, I think it's going to go off.
I don't think it means like, oh, earthquakes aren't something that can set it up. It's just these earthquakes didn't.
But it said that since the last eruption, there have been an estimated 100,000 earthquakes.
Yeah, and none of those 100,000 set it
Yeah.
off, but 100,001 could.
Yeah, I could eat glass and be fine, but eating glass still isn't good for you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
If I may get a little vulgar for a second, and you can censor this if you want. It's like
This funny picture of a cat on the internet where it looks like his tail is his penis.
Jacob. Yeah, all it takes is the right volcano to get Yellowstone going again. Get her out of this dry spell.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'll find something to cover that up with.
all right, nice.
People survive gunshots all the time. Gun violence is not a problem, you know? That's what I'm getting out of that article.
Yeah, just because that bullet that Dick Cheney shot that guy with didn't kill him doesn't mean that bullets can't also kill guys.
Yeah. I can drink a lot of vodka and be fine, so therefore I should consume rubbing alcohol.
You consistently.
Yeah.
I do consume rubbing alcohol.
Delicious.
You said you had something for us, though, Zarek?
What?
You said you had something for us, or was that it?
That was it.
That's all we need.
What's, you were texting me about this county.
Oh, how could I forget? Oh, man. So, do you guys know what the smallest county in the U.S. is?
I do not know.
Sir, I certainly do not.
Okay, this one makes me mad. It's called Kalawao County. It's in Hawaii.
Mm.
And it's a good 53 square miles. Somewhere else I saw said 5.3, so I don't know.
That is such a huge difference. 53 square miles is like the city of Boston. 5.3 square miles is like 4 blocks.
And yeah, I've seen it on Google Maps. I'm leaning towards 5.2.
Yay.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that is
you know what its county seat is?
What?
You cut out. Did you answer?
Yeah, what's the county seat?
My internet sucks. Well, there's no county seat. It's administered by the Hawaii Department of Health.
Oh no.
All 86 people in that county are under the authority of the Hawaiian Department of Health.
That's...
So does that...
Zarek, did your Krakatoa erupted today?
It did?
Yeah.
Ooh.
As our science correspondent gets down to business.
Perfect timing.
When was this?
Like 2 hours ago.
If it happened like 5 hours ago, then I could have picked up on it and brought that up.
God damn, this volcano should have erupted earlier.
Yeah. If it went off a few years ago. December of 2018, and that killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
How many?
At least 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that? It triggered a tsunami that killed more than 420 people.
Oh.
Or exactly.
Why would you say more than, and then a number that's kind of specific?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I think that's implying that it's between 420 and 430 because they didn't want to round up to 430, but they know that it probably was more than 420.
Look.
I saw it.
Gun violence in Chicago has killed at least 114 people this year.
Well, I guess it's just all the people that properly hid the bodies.
I remember seeing, I think, a toothpaste commercial a while ago. It said like over 78% of dentists approve of it.
So, like, is it like 78.2 or is it like 79%? But they're like not really sure.
That's up to interpretation.
Rounding is bullshit. Just give me the right number, thanks.
But significant figures.
Have your information correctly the first time or don't talk to me.
I don't want percentages. I want exact fractions, and not just like rounded. I don't want to round it up. I want like the exact number out of the exact number.
78 over
I want people to be
83.
like 38 and 42 600ths people died today.
Oh, we are losing our minds.
Mhm.
I feel like we should all do crack before this podcast once.
Kalawao County makes me want to do crack. I kind of went off on a tangent.
This is gonna be the one good thing that comes out of it, because if it's gonna be like this for like at least another month, what is this gonna look like 3 episodes from now?
We devolve.
We're just hating on the entire state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
We slowly expand our hatred to the whole state of Hawaii.
Fuck Hawaii. All my homies hate Hawaii.
Exactly. That's how we're gonna open every episode.
This was made by Guam Gang.
American Samoa, where you at?
American Samoa and Bloomberg.
Ugh.
Did you know that in the 2016 election, Kalawao County is the only county where Donald Trump finished third?
Really?
Yeah, he got 1 vote. Hillary Clinton completely blew him away with 14.
Imagine being the one guy who's a vocal Trump supporter.
And what, Jill Stein got like 8?
5.
Dude, that's 5 times as many votes as Trump. She blew him out of water.
Wait, that's 20 out of 86. That's some pretty good turnout.
What's the average?
It's like a quarter turnout.
Oh, in 2012, 27 people showed up.
Oh shit, they're falling.
Oh, and then 31 in 2008.
Dude, we got to build up voter turnout in the county.
Kalawao County.
Matt, what do you think we should do to get that? Like, I feel like that's our job.
Do they have an Insta?
Do they have an Insta?
We,
Probably not.
I think we that's got to be a T-shirt design. Raise voter turnout, and then it's just a picture of the county, but really small under the text and impact font.
Okay, so you have this tiny county with barely any. You may be thinking, why does this exist? Would you like to know why it exists?
Yeah.
Please tell me.
It's somewhat topical to what we're going through now with this coronavirus. It started as a quarantine colony for people having leprosy.
Dude, I had leprosy once.
You should went to Kalawao County.
No, I did not have leprosy. But I was very happy that I convinced you I did.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Pretty sure you can't heal it. Can you heal leprosy?
Yeah.
Is leprosy curable? I'm Googling it.
Dude, you're the fucking Elizabeth Warren of this podcast. You call yourself a
Wow, Jacob, that was brutal.
It was.
Don't call me a snake.
you
Oh,
probably
dude, it's okay. Leprosy is curable now.
I control F the word fatal on the Wikipedia page. It showed up once.
No, it wasn't usually fatal. They would just send everybody away.
Yeah.
Because it's like so contagious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is contagious? The
What?
cold.
It's Ebola. Wait, I do actually have a topic to talk about. I know I didn't contribute anything before, but but during the podcast, I'm having ideas.
Okay, go for it.
You're doing
All
it.
right. So you guys know how there was the Spanish flu of 1918,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
a crazy flu outbreak. Dude, did you know that killed 50 to 100 million people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's nutty.
People
Unrelated. Entirely unrelated.
people are comparing,
Entirely unrelated.
they're comparing Corona to it, but it was so much worse.
It was so much worse. It also primarily killed people in their early 20s.
Yeah, and they were bleeding out of their eyes.
Yeah, dude, I wish I bled out of my eyes just once to know what it was like. But completely entirely separate from that, today on Good Friday of all days, Ebola outbreak got worse in where was it? I think it was in the Congo. The Ebola started spreading again.
Which
And
Congo?
also,
Which Congo?
yeah, but they thought it was done officially, but then they've just found I think either a few new cases or it spread outside of the quarantined area they had today. And also there's a new plague of locusts in another place in Africa. I just remember seeing two crazy nutty things happening today.
And Krakatoa erupted.
You know what else happened?
What?
The Yellowstone didn't erupt, but the bubonic plague is infecting the wolves there.
The what?
The bubonic plague.
That's still around?
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. I need you to say this again for me. The wolves at Yellowstone have bubonic plague.
Yeah.
What about the Bearcats?
That's so fucking cool. How are the Bearcats? I need to know.
How's
I thought
Baxter?
we dealt with that 400 years ago, 500 years ago.
No, it still comes back, but we have a cure for it now. My 12th grade history teacher actually got it when he was in his 20s.
Oh my god.
And the infectious disease specialist was like, I don't know what this is. So then he had to go to another place. And they're like, oh, this is the plague. And then they cured it.
Dude, that's what they should have done when it happened the first time. Jesus.
Mm.
No, that's not insensitive because nobody who lived through the Black Plague is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
tested a bunch
That's how it works.
wolves there and cougars. Half of the animals tested have the plague.
Yeah, but at least dogs don't. Oh, wait, no, that's Corona. Never mind.
There's also that wolf that has corona. Or no, not the wolf, the tiger.
The tiger.
Yeah, the fucking tiger. That upsets me. Because they literally, didn't they say that animals couldn't get it?
No,
or was
they
that
said
just
dogs couldn't get it.
Oh, right, so tigers are fucked.
The tigers are fucked. Tigers are fucked.
It has not been a good month for tigers.
Honestly,
It's been a good
first
month.
feral.
What else happened to tigers?
Tiger King.
What's that?
Oh, right. You have, the entire point, or at least, this isn't a spoiler, but the entire point made at the end of the show is that, all this fucked up shit happens at the end after not bringing it up for the entire runtime. They're just oh, yeah, these animals were, neglected or something. And then it ends.
That's so deep.
Yeah.
Because the point of the show was supposed to originally be about like tiger neglect, and then they picked up on this whole like crazy like Carol Baskin whatever junk.
Yeah, she did it.
And then who says you couldn't even get a tiger? You couldn't get a tiger to eat someone unless you slathered them in sardine oil or something. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
This sounds
Are
crazy
you
out of
joking?
context.
she should not have said that.
It's not even what she says though; it's just how she says it.
It's like that is like I would like how do you even get away with murder unless you bury them into your house?
What? I didn't kill my husband. Let me look completely away from the camera. That'll show my innocence.
Yeah. I'm looking at the not dead body in my corner.
A woman is
You know
bloody.
how they have to catch her? By faking an engagement.
Is that a segue, or is that just a?
It
Is that a
can
funny joke?
be a segue if we want it to be a segue.
All right. Do we want it to be a segue?
Sure.
All right, Tightrope,
Tightrope.
the new album by The Big Heist.
Huge heist.
Do people know who the big
Heist.
heist is?
Do you want to explain?
All right. So, back in the summer of 2019, back when life was simple, Truman and I just decided to book it around Lake Ontario.
We circumnavigated the whole lake.
Yeah.
It was huge.
And you were on the aux. You were the DJ since I drove most of it.
I drove for a little bit.
Yeah.
I drove to a Tim Hortons once.
That was a good 5 miles.
Was it good though?
If that. Derek
Yeah, he's a
drove
pretty good driver.
maybe 20 hours that week.
Yeah. All right, so we crossed the border into New York. This is,
Well,
like,
you
the
have to
very
preface
beginning.
it first. Our Boston
What?
gag.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So we were trying to find some music to celebrate our entrance to New York. And since we like to call the entire region of New England Boston, I decided, hey, you should find a song about Albany. Because, those exist. I didn't know if they existed. So he found this song. I think it was called Albany is a Good Upstate City. Binghamton is a good New York City. I forget what Albany's was. But the artist was called the guy who sings
Albany,
about
New
cities
York.
and
It is the capital of New York.
Yeah, so we played it, and we just heard this guy sounded like he wrote the entire song 5 minutes ago. But it was kind of funny. So we decided to see what other songs he has, since he's the guy who sings about cities and towns, not the guy who sings about Albany. So we played more songs about cities and towns in New York. And we started to think, wow, this is really stupid. This sounds like he's just reading off the Wikipedia page of cities.
And then we did our home cities.
Yeah, then we did our home cities. Mine is Reading, Pennsylvania. And he said it's halfway between Philadelphia and Harrisburg. And I thought, wow, where have I seen that before? Oh, it's in the first paragraph of Reading, Pennsylvania's Wikipedia page.
Yeah, but then you did
Yeah, this
Exeter,
guy-
which is a nearby town. And he goes, it has a zip code. Oh, yes, it does. And then doesn't say the zip code.
That's for people to find out. It's a mystery.
Yeah, so we started off thinking, hey, this is pretty cool. He's singing about Albany. To this is really stupid. He's just writing stuff down from Wikipedia and putting it on a really bad piano beat.
It's a really good
But
piano
then-
beat.
But then we discovered the guy who sings about cities and towns sings about other stuff.
Yes, he does.
The guy is a man named Matt Farley, and his most prominent band is the Toilet Bowl Cleaners. You may have heard the Toilet Bowl Cleaners from hit songs such as the Poop Song,
Poop into a wormhole.
Poop in My Fingernails,
Poop in the urinal.
Poop in the Urinal. That's a great one.
Also,
So we
I'm sorry.
found. Well, I think
The Urinal is my personal favorite.
Yeah, that one's a banger. I think you Googled him, and then you found out he's singing about poop, and that's how we found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when he was just singing about poop for the rest of the drive to where we were going, and basically for the rest of that trip.
That was the beginning of the trip. We still had a good 20 hours of driving to go.
Yeah, that was like 3 hours in. And for the next 20 hours or so, we just played the Toilet Bowl Cleaners. And I can't say that was a bad thing.
And then some time goes by. We listen to his stuff on and on, off and on. Then I don't know, something just like clicked. Or we started listening to his serious work after a couple months.
He has many songs.
Okay, to get this out of the way, his business model is if I make $2 on a song each year, that's not a lot. But if I make $2 off 20,000 songs a year, then I'll have a living wage. It's explained in his biopic Local Legends, which he writes, directs, and stars in. Because he's also a filmmaker.
You absolutely need to watch it, folks.
He's also a filmmaker with his friend Charlie Roxburgh. And they make these wonderful comedy, horror, parody movies. But Don't Let the River Beast Get You is a masterpiece. We'll have much to say about his movies leading up to his newer release in October. That's not the point for now. But the point for now is that he writes serious music that is actually good. And like, not that his... Because I think the factory line Wikipedia stuff is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the commitment is hilarious. And the fact that he's been doing this for...
jam out to it.
The fact that he's been doing this for 15 years is hilarious. And sometimes I will put on a Name Poop album and just listen to it. But his latest project is The Big Heist, which is in high school. He had two friends, Froggy and Pete. Pete plays bass, Froggy plays drums. They had a band together called Projection from the Side. In college, he met Tom Scalzo. They had a band together called Moe's Haven. Moe's Haven is the most prolific band ever. They wrote like 12 albums, or they wrote an album a day in 2006, and then compiled the best albums from those days, and an album for each month, and then compiled a best album from those months. But they were insanely prolific. I think the most they wrote in a day was they wrote 60 songs the night before their college graduation.
I'm sorry,
That's
what?
ridiculous.
I didn't even know that.
So they're insanely prolific, and that's when he saw that only their silly songs were making money, and he decided to start making money off silly songs. That's the origin story. But in 2018, Projection from the Side and Moe's Haven merged to make The Big Heist with their amazing triple album debut, Mo 75, which is a masterpiece. It's about 3 hours, but you should take the time to listen to it because it's incredible, and there's a lot of great songs on there. But this week, Tightrope came out, which is the latest from The Big Heist. And that's the context you need.
And so now we're going to be talking about Tightrope.
And you may be thinking, well, he makes, 20,000 songs? Well, I'm sure 1% of them are good. Well, if only 1% of his songs are good, that's still 200 good songs.
Period.
Which is more than other people. And also, it's probably closer to 30 or 40%.
That's a lot. Hold on, let me do math because I know how. That's 6,000 good songs.
Can you name anyone else with 6,000 songs, let alone 6,000 good songs?
I mean, technically, Matt Farley has the most songwriting experience of anybody ever.
Yeah, he is the most experienced songwriter, which is why I was excited for Tightrope.
Ever written more music than him?
I was very excited for Tightrope. let's take a look. We'll analyze the album cover real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's something that I can do.
you could just Google the picture of the album cover, Jacob.
Yeah.
And that's
Alright.
for you viewers back home too. That was a call up. That was. The other thing about Matt Farley is you can give him a call at any time.
Mm-hmm.
He puts his phone
Yeah.
number in his music, in his movies, etc. In his podcast. You can give him a call at 603-644-0048.
Doing him text often.
Yeah.
Yeah, text him.
Yes.
He's a great guy, really down to earth, and he makes incredible music and movies.
And some of you might say that because we have a personal relationship with him, that makes us biased. But we say,
We're biased. No, we have a personal relationship with him because we're biased, not the other way around.
Because we were already super into him. Before we started contacting him, we had to go through a lot of his music to find his phone number.
Oh no, me and Zarek
Oh,
found it
it's-
almost right away, but we were just like too scared.
I don't think it was right away.
I think we found it that day because it was
I
in his
remember-
Twitter bio.
We watched his biopic, and we decided to call him immediately after, and we talked to him on the phone for 40 minutes about his music. That was ridiculous. That was insane to me. That blew my mind. Never in my entire life had an experience where I could watch a movie about someone and then call them and talk to them about the movie and their career.
Could you imagine if Orson Welles had put his phone number in Citizen Kane?
oh my God, that would be so funny.
Back in October, when I was in college, before all this happened, I wanted to play Poop in the Urinal since there was a piano in my dorm's lounge. So I texted him, hey, how do you play the first few seconds of Poop in the Urinal on a piano? I want to impress my college peers. You know what he did?
He sent you the chords.
He sent me the whole song. And then he asked, oh, where do you go to college? I said, I go to the State University of New York at Binghamton. And he said, Binghamton? That's not too far. I could totally drive up there and do a show.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to do next semester?
I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
So keep coming back to Tightrope. I think me and Zarek have definitely listened to it. I know Jacob hasn't. John Luke, have you?
I listened to exactly none of it.
Okay. Sick. So me and Zarek can talk about it for a bit. But let's take a look at the album cover first. It's
All right.
I have seen the album cover at least.
the four guys, Froggy, Matt, Pete, and Scalzo, in front of what seems to be a picture of a stick figure on a tightrope.
Yes.
Great album cover.
Great album cover. Great visual metaphor.
All of his album covers are amazing.
This one's really funny. The guy on the tightrope. Opening track, Tightrope, absolute bop.
Mm-hmm.
Banger. Takedown, great rap track.
I'm sorry. He has a rap track?
Yeah.
Does he have good flow?
Well, Pete's the one rapping.
Okay.
Great.
All-Star Pete?
No. All-Star
no
Pete is
relation.
played by Tom Scalzo, Pete Peterson, who plays the indecorous deviant Ned Matthews in Don't Let the River Beast Get You.
Oh my God.
And he plays Soup in Local Legends. I Tell You What is an anthem.
That's one of my favorites.
Basin and Range, Tom Scalzo sings for the first time in a while. Between Two Wars is great. Kaleidoscope's awesome. Falling Leaves is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's an
think
incredible
my-
album.
My favorite is either Falling Leaves or I Tell You What.
I Tell You What is really fun. Let's listen to I Tell You What right now, actually.
All right.
This is a non-exclusive exclusive.
I agree. You've been hurting me. old friend, I tell you what. I tell you what. I tell you what. I tell you what. You got woke when he got broke. Took your car and wrecked it, made you apoplectic. Came pleading to the judges, they're gonna be a grudge. Honey, baby, it's open and it's shut. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, I 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 tell you what. No gloating, I've been hoping for some coping, wide open, unbroken hearts, joking, congratulations. Long time waiting for some celebrating with some face-to-facing and other sensations. I tell you what, 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 I tell you what. Houston, I tell you what. Denver, I tell you what. Toronto, I tell you what. Orlando, I tell you what. Liberty, I tell you what. And Wales, I tell you what. Yes, I tell you what. Quarry, I tell you what. Medford, I tell you what. South Detroit, I tell you what. LA, I tell you what. Cincinnati, I tell you what. Tampa, I tell you what. Nahan, I tell you what. Southie, I tell you what. I tell you what. Ready, willing, able to be inseparable. Bed, couch, kitchen table, happy ever after fable. We've both been burned from mistakes we learned, but now we return. Let's go get what we have earned. I tell you what, 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 I tell you what.
What a great song.
Certainly did tell me what.
And he was hyping that song up on Twitter. And I retweeted it with just Houston. And he replied, "Did you hear Endwell in that list? It's right by Binghamton." And keep in mind, I haven't said I'm from Binghamton on my Twitter, I don't think. He just remembered that. What a man.
Yeah, it's
That's so cool.
a good song. You should listen to the rest of the album. And I know he's gonna hear this, so just by the nature of it.
Mm-hmm. He said he'll be listening.
He said he'd be listening, but also he just like impulsively Googles himself a lot.
He does?
Yeah. Segway?
Segway.
Segways are hard.
We nailed it pretty good last time, but last time we didn't plan. So, and we segued into things we didn't really plan on talking about.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think we've all been, I mean, at least me and John Luke have been playing a lot of video games.
Not too many.
I've been getting into GTA 5. I know I'm like 10 years late. I have like 10 hours in, you know, that's I'm used to that being like kind of towards the end point of a video game. And then I asked Jacob where I was, and he said maybe a third of the way in.
GTA 5 is a long ass game, and it took me, I mean, I'm not an avid gamer, but I don't think it should take anyone a year and a half to beat a game.
I'm like stealing a submarine
Yeah, that's like I think you're almost halfway through. Like
to
almost.
rob the cargo ship or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that submarine level because it took me fucking an hour to beat.
Wild.
Yeah, that is definitely the worst level in the entire game, by the way. So once you get over that, it's all uphill from there.
All uphill, thanks.
I mean, no, downhill. Don't tell me that my metaphors are not good. It makes me confused. It makes me self-conscious.
John, like, what did you say you were playing? Stardew Valley?
Yeah, I started playing far too much Stardew Valley again. They apparently updated it and added tea leaves. Tea leaves are now a crop, and they added oh shucks, one more thing that I completely forgot.
Well,
Since I last played it,
a worthy addition.
But I'm gonna say something controversial yet brave in saying that Stardew Valley is the OG, even though like not actually, but like it's the OG and better Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for this Bunny Day stuff to end.
Isn't it like 4 more days?
I think it's
2 more days.
I haven't been
It's
on
2
Animal
more days.
Crossing
I'm really
since April 1st because of Bunny Day.
The eggs. No, it definitely ends in 2 days. Easter is definitely the 12th.
Oh my god. Jacob and Zarek, how was your Passover?
It was pretty good. For viewers who are not familiar, Passover is it's when Jews get together to commemorate our ancestors' journey across the Egyptian desert towards what God told us would be our holy land.
So we don't eat bread for a week.
Yeah.
Except this quarantine, I gotta eat bread. If it was any other circumstance, the past couple years I didn't eat bread for the week, but now it's like nah.
Yeah, it's the same here.
Zarek?
It's not like you can just eat meat now.
But Zarek's like the most orthodox of us all, so.
Hey, you know what I usually do for Passover?
What?
Remember that it's Passover.
I pass over celebrating it. Haha.
Yeah, but Truman, I very much appreciated your picture of your Seder plate.
Oh yeah, we didn't have a shank bone, so we just piled a bunch of Legos on top of each other and put it there.
That's so good.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm Jew.
Yeah, I heard that. That was weird. I don't know what that was.
John, like, what'd you say?
So I'm a fake Jew.
You're not Jewish.
I had no Jewish friends at home. And then at college, all my friends were Jewish, so I was mildly initiated.
Mm-hmm.
I fasted for Yom Kippur. And I got to blow shofar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're pretty much not honorary Jew now.
Yes.
Do you know how badly I wish we were at Emerson for Purim?
I don't think I've...
We would have built a Sukkot in the common room.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a 3-walled building.
Oh, we absolutely would have built one of those. We would have used the couches.
And then you dress up like it's Halloween, too.
I like that. I vibe.
Yeah.
And then anytime you say someone, you hear the word Haman, you yell and make a lot of noise. That's what I remember from Hebrew school.
Dude, for like 1 year, I knew how to speak Hebrew because of Hebrew school. And then I spent the summer at a Jewish summer camp. And when I went back to Hebrew school, I completely forgot how to speak Hebrew.
I could read it, but I never knew what it meant.
I mean, neither did I, but I knew what all the vowels were, and I knew what all the symbols were.
With a small refresher, I could probably still read it better than I could, like, fluently understand Italian like I used to be able to.
You know how Jewish I am?
How?
Oh.
The largest number of Hebrew words I knew at any given time was 2.
Which 2?
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
There's a varying circulation of 2.
I think one of them was clock.
Clock, baby. Wait, what was it? You know any more?
No.
Damn it.
You know what, Zarek?
What?
I tell you what.
Wait, guys, listen. I'm gonna see if I don't know if my computer, if you'll be able to hear it, but I'm gonna play clock in Hebrew. No, that was in English. Damn it.
That's what it is.
There's no option for it to say it in Hebrew.
Oh no.
Wait, that's how you pronounce clock in English? I had no clue.
Dude, that's insane. Wait, I'm gonna find how to say it. Oh, it's like Shaon or something.
I wouldn't know.
It's Sean? People name Sean, their name means clock?
Yeah, Sean called him clock and then laugh.
They're gonna be like, what?
For real view, they'll get it.
Sell a Moxie Mansion t-shirt that just says clock on it.
Oh, I gotta take it on.
So Zarek, to clarify, you know the word shalom, and you knew what the word clock was.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fun fact about me, I started using the word shalom just because I think it's like a nice word. Like I just vibe with that word in general, like 2 years ago. And I recently found out that a lot of people have always thought I was Jewish because of that fact.
Wait, does Hanukkah count as a Hebrew word?
I think so.
That's 3.
Yes.
Unless it's just a name. I don't know.
Basketball fun.
Can we just have a quick moment of silence for the entire city of Houston because they just got told?
What'd they get told?
I don't know.
They got told
They were-
what?
No, I'm just kidding. They probably had it coming. They don't have to be silent.
I thought Houston was shut down, is it?
Probably.
Well, Texas was only shutting down by county for a while, I heard.
Is Danvers shut down?
Dude, most certainly.
Oh, is that what they're being told?
Danvers, I tell you what.
Tell you what.
Such a great album that you guys should listen to, and then we can talk about it again next week.
Fan responses in the comments.
Oh yeah,
Send topic.
Send us DM us on Instagram your questions, and we'll start doing fan mail.
Ooh, that's
I love it. Oh yes, and I'd like to say something real quick. I'm assuming because of course because Moxie Mansion has the largest viewer base off of any podcast that has ever existed. I know that some of you might be music snobs, might be watching Anthony Fantano every day, might be listening to Death Grips all the time, and might think because of our descriptions like, oh, Matt Farley isn't legit. Well, guess what? He is actual friends with Anthony Fantano and Billie Eilish, Artist of the Year, bops.
Her favorite song is "Poopin' My Fingernails."
Yeah, that's actually a fact.
She said it on multiple occasions.
Yeah. So now you have no excuse. Matt Farley is cool. So get with it.
Billie Eilish is his fan, not the other way around. That's when you fucking know.
Yeah. He was like, I didn't even really know who she was until people started telling me she liked my songs.
Matt Farley's so good. He also walks for 5 hours a day, roughly.
He walks 20 miles a day. I mean, I don't know if he still is, but...
For years. He called him on one of his walks.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have like a special thing he says when he picks up, or did he just say hello?
he says, "Hey, this we can call him right now." Oh no, it's 11:20. He's not gonna pick up.
No, it's definitely too late.
I don't know. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Hey, hey, hey! Oh yeah! Welcome to the Moturn Media Playlist or Infomercial Podcast.
Yeah. He picks up and he's just like, "Shalom."
We need to do his statement analysis service.
Oh, Roddy's statement analysis.
Yeah.
The Christmas special is such a trip. All right, I think that's it for Moxie Mansion this week.
Yeah, this was a good one. I enjoyed this one a lot.
This was a good one. You guys want to plug your socials?
Fuck it.
You know from last week.
If you care enough, go back to last week.
Yeah, if you are a fan.
Figure out how to spell it.
Yeah. See you guys around next week. We'll maybe have Tatum
Hopefully.
or somebody
John.
else.
Lucius hugs folks.
Also, required viewing for next week is Monsters, Marriage, and Murder in Manch Vegas, and we'll discuss it a little bit.
Yes, I actually saw that one this morning because I was so excited, and I'm very excited to talk about this next week.
Okay. See you around.